You know what, brothers? A statistic that bothers me is one that 63% of men are womenless, meaning their DMs are dry, meaning they spend their weekends alone, meaning their cell phones are dry. They get no activity from women. They aren't desired. That one, and another stat that says 15% of marriages are sexless. 15% of marriages are sexless, man. And the reason those statistics bother me, man, is because I'm fully aware of what life is like, man, when those boxes aren't checked. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always talk about going forward and accomplishing goals and all these things. But you got to understand, man, it's very hard for a man to just move forward in life if he's a man that really has that's not being desired by women. We can say go your own way. We can say all that we want, man. If a woman isn't checking for you, brother, it's not a lot of fuel in the tank, man, because you're trying to figure out what's wrong in that area, brothers. So, man, the thing is, I want to talk about something, man. I want to talk about just traits that a man can pick up, man, that women just can't resist. Like, in other words, to take yourself out of the pool of 63% of lonely men, brother, all you have to do is make a few modifications. All you have to do is make a few modifications, man. And I'm going to tell you this. The first one is identity. Like, when I say a man must know who he is, brother, that's for a whole host of reasons. A man must know who he is for a whole host of reasons. But when it comes to women, man, you got to understand how important identity is. You have to understand this, man. You have to understand that when the majority of women get up, I mean, she gets up, she gets ready for the day, she drives to work, she stops and gets her Starbucks coffee, she goes to work, she interacts with everybody all day, she gets off work, she stops by the gas station, she pumps her gas, she goes in the grocery store to get something to cook, and she comes home. You have to understand, man, in that time period, a woman is going to have a number of guys shoot their shot. And if they aren't shooting their shot, they're probably scared to approach. They're still showing signs of interest. You have to understand, this is a woman's life every single day. Every single day. So when she's in position like, okay, you know what? I want to entertain somebody. The first thing she's going to say is, the first thing she's going to be drawn to is what makes him different. And I'm telling you, man, most of you brothers have no character about yourself. You have no identity. In other words, if you're standing in a lineup, the brother to the left and to the right of you are just like you. Y'all think alike. Y'all move alike. Your demeanor is like. You have no identity, man. So the first thing, brothers, you have to understand, man, like if nobody is checking for me, then I'm not separate enough from the rest of the world. Like, you should be able to stand in a crowd and a person can tell, like, you're different. For some reason, your energy is different. In other words, man, you have no charisma. When I'm talking about character, you have no charisma. You stand out, bro. I remember when I went to this was 2009. One of my frat brothers invited me, old school cat, invited me to I think it was his birthday party, And I went to this party, man. I didn't know anybody there. Anybody. He was just one of them. I didn't know any of his family, nothing. So I walk in this party, and of course he's making a grand entrance, so he's not even there yet, right? I walk in this party, and I look to the left. It's like a small community center. I look to the left, and I see all these brothers kind of standing against the wall or kind of over there by the kitchen area, just kind of holding bottles and chilling. Like we at an 8th grade high school party. I mean, like some kind of child party, man. I see all these brothers over there. And then I look over to the left, or rather straight ahead, and there was all the women, maybe 12, 15 women sitting at just like one long table. And they're over there just having a good time. And I'm like, well, if I don't know anybody, I'm going to go over here and introduce myself to the women. So I went straight to the women table, man, went over there, introduced myself, didn't know any of them, and just started talking to them. Just started, one by one talking to them. They're like, hey, yeah, well, sit down. I sit down, man, and all of a sudden, I became the whole life of the party. It was like I was the only man in there that had any kind of character about myself. In other words, I could look over there to the left and see all them brothers over on the wall holding their bottles, and nothing made any of them stand out from the other one. And I'm telling you, man, I sit there, man, and just had a good time all night. And it wasn't about getting phone numbers and hooking up. It was just about being an attractive man to women. A man that stood out of the box. Like every man should have that character and identity about himself. When a woman is in your life, man, she must be able to look at you and identify traits that separate you from all men. In other words, if a woman comes to my house, man, she's going to be like, you know what? I know Soul's crib is going to be dressed right, dressed and clean all the time. I know Soul's conversation is going to be a certain way. I understand that Soul is going to be die hard about his skincare. I understand that Tej Hanley is a huge part of his life. That's why I'm glad to partner with Tej Hanley on today's video. Believe me, man, Tej Hanley is the truth. You've heard me talk about them before, and you're going to be hearing me talk about them for a long time because I know the positive impact they've had on my life. Seriously, I don't think some of you brothers believe me when I tell you how much implementing a quality skincare routine will improve confidence in all areas of your life. Tej Hanley makes taking care of your skincare uncomplicated. They provide you with all the products that you need and nothing you don't. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, and a PM moisturizer. Oh, and to make it simple for guys like us, they provide this instruction card in every box that tells you how and when to use each product. It definitely comes in clutch. Skincare wasn't something I always took seriously, brothers, but now I wish I would have sooner. But you don't have to take my word for it, brothers. There are over 5,000 5-star reviews from customers around the globe. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off of retail price, access to exclusive monthly deals, the ability to pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description box and you'll get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. A second reason, brothers, why men are in this 63% category is simply because they don't have the gonads, man. They don't have the balls. You know, and as an adult, as an enlightened man, I can see the energy that women have been seeing their whole lives. A lot of y'all brothers can. Like, you can walk in a room and you can see the man that you can just walk up to and smack or talk crazy to or disrespect or just treat him a little bit different. You can see that energy on a man. So if you can see it on a man, just understand that a woman can see that same energy times 10. Times 10. It's the same energy, man, that back in the days when we were in elementary and middle school, it's the same energy that bullies would pick up on. Like, a bully would go to the playground and not know anybody, but they will find 2 or 3 brothers to go around and push around. They can see that energy. Women can see that same energy on a man. And I'm telling you, man, if you don't have that energy about you, man, that you'll raise 10 types of hell if you have to, brother, that's gonna be a turnoff for a woman, because you gotta understand, a woman wants to feel safe. She wants to feel safe, man. And if you don't have that switch inside of you, I'm not saying you got to be walking around like you ready to smack somebody at all times, but it has to be in your back pocket. You have to have the energy like, you know what, I'll burn this whole facility down if I got to. You have to have that energy about yourself, man. You ever see a guy that's not as attractive as average men and he got a baddie? It's because he's offering that trait of, you know what, like, as long as you with me, you ain't got to worry about nothing. With this world being like it is, like it's always been, if you can't provide that element of safety for a woman, brother, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's gonna be hard for a woman to just want to desire you. And And man, I can say this about myself, man. Even when I was in my most toxic of days, man, when I was moving reckless and maybe doing things I shouldn't have been doing, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Women have always said, like, soul is one that'll go off the deep end at any moment. At any moment, man. Like, don't let this enlightened talk and let's move forward, brothers, fool you. And I don't have to say it, man. You can walk in a room. I can walk to my brothers. I can see my brothers in a circle. And I was saying this to them last night. I said the beautiful thing is, man, when a lot of men that are focused can get in the room, but the beauty of it, I like being able to see that dark side of every man. If that dark side isn't present, brothers, you're not attractive, man. You're not attractive. And a lot of nice guys, a lot of guys that were raised a certain way, they really don't get this. And I'm saying this from a point in time, I didn't get it. At one point in time, I didn't get it. Because at one point in time, I was like, man, well, if I just sit here in this energy, this holy energy, then at some point, I'm going to attract the woman on this same vibe. No. Every woman has to see that part of her man. If she can't see that part in you, she can't even really respect you. Because a part of her has to feel that same energy herself. A part of her has to feel that same energy in you yourself, man. So I say reason number 2, brothers, is simply, man, you have to have balls about yourself. You have to be able to tap into that dark side at any moment. You have to be able to put that energy in your back pocket and have it on deck at all times. Because if it's not, man, you're just not as attractive, man. Women don't want to be around that, brothers. Simple as that. And I'll say the third one is this. And it's huge. And I'll say this. This is one of the ones that makes it a lot easier for the small percentage of men. Like the purpose-driven men, the men are like, you know what, man, I'm trying to knock down mountains. I'm trying to move. And that third one, brothers, is direction. You have no idea. Now, it might work when you 21 and below. It might work when you 25. But once you get out of that, once you get past that age and phase of life, brother, if you don't have direction, if you're just waking up every day and you're just blah, just like if you're not going anywhere, brother, you have to understand what woman would want to get with a man like that. A man that wants to wake up every single day and do the exact same thing for the next 20 years. What woman would want to get with a man with no direction? In other words, you don't want to visit any other countries on the globe. You don't want to see any other things. You don't want to experience any of the luxuries of life. No traveling, no nothing in life. This is it. What am I signing up for? You want me to wake up every single day and sex you down and make you sandwiches and do all these things, but you have no direction, like I have nothing to look forward to? And I'm just telling you what women are looking at, brothers. Again, if I had a daughter, I wouldn't even want her to get with a man with no direction. I'm like, baby, go out there and marry you a good man. But if he has no direction, hold up. Because you're going to find yourself in a mundane position and you're going to be miserable. I'm not saying you got to be going out spending all this. I'm just saying a man that's making moves, a man that's moving. And the thing is this. It might say 63%, but I'm leaning more toward 85, 90% of men that have no movement. So you got to understand, man, just if you're a man that has direction, you're gonna be a man that's attracting women. And this is my thing, bro. This is my thing. Like if a man, like this is my thing, bro, and I'm gonna keep it 100. There shouldn't be any single man on the planet. There shouldn't be a man on the planet that's moving like he's supposed to and not have at least 2 or 3 women on the planet out of 3.5 billion women. Out of 3.5 billion women, if a man is moving correctly, he should always have 2 or 3 women that are willing to drop everything and come marry that man that they ask him to. And you telling me a lot of y'all brothers don't even have women attracted to you? I'm telling you, man, it's simply based on how you're moving. It's simply based on how you're moving. And think about this. It's not about how much money you got. It's not even about really how physically attracted you are. It's about how you're moving, man. It's about how you're moving. You have no identity. I can walk in a store, I can walk in a mall, and I can just see men that have no character about themselves. The way they walk, the way they interact with everybody, the way they interact with the world. I'm like, that brother is just he's literally just a drone. Brother, character, charisma, balls, direction. It's all about getting yourself out of the 63%, brothers. Brothers, don't forget about the amazing deal at Tiege Hanley. Click that link and get started today.